Ah, okay, so we are talking about conditionals. This is the last day of conditionals. Using the expressions we were checking in the previous classes. So let's do it together if there is no objection with you. So Alex, can you read the instructions for exercise 85.3, please?
Yes. It says complete the sentences with either as if or even if, followed by an appropriate pronoun and then where.
Okay, the first example.
Mueller spoke slowly, as if it were a great physical effort.
As if it were like that was my perception, but I don't really. Okay, well, let's go to with number 2, please, Alvaro.
Yes, every day Miss Green would walk around the park as it it were not snowing.
As if it weren't snowing. Let me write it. As if it weren't, I weren't, as if it weren't, oh, snowing. Well, it is there in the answer. As if it weren't snowing. But you can also use the other phrase that they tell you, even if. What would be the phrase and the change in meaning? That would be another option. For example, even if it is snow. Even. So every day, Mrs. Green could walk around the park even if it is snowing. Or as if it weren't snowing. So what is the difference between these two sentences? Even if and as if it weren't snowing. What could be the difference? Yes, Alex. No? In the first one, if you say as if it weren't snowing, this is your perception. That she does it in a way that your perception is that she doesn't feel there is any difference between snowing and not snowing. So it is the way you perceive the way that she does. As if it weren't snowing. Your perception. You think that. But in the other sentence, even if it is snowing, you don't talk about the perception. You talk about the fact. She does it no matter if it is snowing. Maybe in the second sentence, even if it is snowing, she does it with difficulty. But she does it anyway. But in the first one, as if it weren't snowing, you can see that she does it easily without any problem, like with no effort. So that could be the difference between as if it weren't, and even if it. So number 3. Let's work on this. Alex, can you read it? Hello. No, Alex? Okay, no, Alex. What about you, Alvaro? Can you read it, please?
Yes. She knew she wouldn't be able to eat rabbit meat, um, even if it
Even
it were, yes, even if she were starving.
I think even if is more common without second condition.
Okay.
For example, even if she is starving. Well, I think you can say even if she were starving, but I think it is more common to use it even if she is starving. She knew she wouldn't be able to meet rabbit. Well, I think both are possible, but the first one with even if she's starving or so both are possible, but yeah, what would be the meaning of this sentence? Even if she is or even if she were starving.
That she can't eat rabbit meat, so it doesn't matter if she is hungry.
It doesn't matter if she is hungry. She cannot uh, eat it because maybe she's allergic or maybe she was operated and she cannot eat this kind of meat. So or she has some reaction to this kind of meat. So I think your election was good. Even if she is starving or even if she were starving. Supposing. Okay, number 4. I think Alex, I don't know if he has come back. Well, I think he hasn't. Well, let's continue with number 4, Alvaro, please.
Yes. Number 4, Jamie completely ignored me as if I I was not standing next to him.
As if I was or I were, to emphasize this hypothetical meaning. So Jamie completely ignored me as if I were not standing next to him. Oh, horrible. Sometimes we call, well, I don't know if you know this phrase, Alvaro, to give someone the cold shoulder. To give someone the cold shoulder. Yeah.
No, I'm not sure.
It is like, yeah. You ignore these people. You don't exist. That is like the cold shoulder because you usually like move this like, you don't exist. And you look the other way. Well, then number 5, Alex, are you there? I think he went away for a few minutes. Well, number 5, Alvaro, sorry.
Yes, no problem. He picked Natasha up
She picked her up
as she were not heavier.
as if.
Okay. As if she were
as if she were no heavier than a 2-year-old. Uh-huh. A toddler, as we say. I don't know if a 2-year-old is still considered a toddler. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. They are called toddlers because they are very young and they usually do this with their fingers, put their fingers in their mouths. So I think, yes, as if she were like that, it gave me the impression. Okay, number 6. If you are there, Alex, tell us you have come back, please. Well, I am going to read the next, and you will help me with the answer. I don't think I could have got the job.
Even if I
Uh-huh.
if,
In this case, I think the supposition is possible.
even if I were
Mhm. Even if I were, or if you talk about something in the past, even if I had been better qualified. Uh-huh. You can also say, I don't think I would have got the job even if I had been better qualified, referring to the situation in the past. But you can also use even if I were, so in general, maybe in present, also in present, even if I were better qualified. Mhm. Okay. Then Alex, now that you are here, thank you. Number
Yeah.
7.
When Mary saw that I was stuck, she laughed. She laughed out
She
loud.
laughed. Uh-huh.
She
She laughed
laughed,
out loud.
laughed out loud. Not so critical. Employees a joke.
This is strange. Let me understand it. When Mary saw that I was stuck, she laughed out loud. Not so critical. I don't know. Do you have any idea? It sounds strange for me. So Mary saw that I was. Uh,
As if. I don't know. When Mary-
employees a
As if.
joke. I don't know. For me, this is strange.
Even
Mm, mhm.
as as if I were not so critical. I don't know.
Even as if I were.
No,
I think
no.
it sounds strange.
As if, just as if.
As if
I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand the context.
maybe. Well, let me try. As if it weren't.
Not
As if we're
so
not so
critical.
critical. Like maybe the situation, or maybe as if she were not so critical. But well, let's leave it in blank, and then we are going to check the answers given by the book. Because I don't get it, to be honest. I don't. It is like, eh? So let's go for number 8. Number 8, Alex again.
I will not accept the job even if it were offered to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I think it is more logical. If it is logical, even if it what?
No, even if they were to offer it to me.
Uh-huh. You can say that if they were to offer it to me. That could be one. Another possibility, even well, not the structure should have should change. But well, with some different words. It, even if it were to be impassive offered. You can also say it like this, but of course you will have to change some
Yeah,
words.
more polite that way, right?
So I wouldn't accept the job even if it were to be offered to me. Sounds more complicated, more advanced. I wouldn't accept the job even if I was to be offered. I was offered. But it sounds strange. So I could go for the first that you said, even if they were to offer it to me. Okay. Even if they were to offer it to me. Okay. Well, in number 4, at the end, we are going to check the answers. Don't worry. So number 4, Alvaro, can you read the instructions?
Yes, complete the sentences using one of the phrases in I with expanded notes from double I.
Mhm.
Well, there are options.
Can you read the options in letter I?
Yes. If it were not for, wish he were, rather it were. If I were you, if only it were, sooner we were. No, she were.
Sooner she were. Okay, and the options in letter double I. Double I. Strange.
Yes, forgotten classmates, going friends, not so critical employees, long night, winter, as easy that, breakfast before we leave, before
Okay.
leave.
So the first example, I would be happy to live in the north of Sweden, if it were not for the long nights in the winter. Yes. In Alaska, you have 6 months of light and 6 months of darkness. I think that is why people commit suicide so often. So, well, let's try number 2. Let's start with you, Alvaro, please.
Yes, I'm not happy about Kathy going to Thailand
Okay.
alone. I mm,
So they got, if it were not for the So I were
mm,
uh-huh.
I would sooner
She were what? I would
mm,
sooner alone breakfast before leave going.
Maybe going with her friends.
Aha. Okay. So what would be the next sentence? I would rather sorry, I would sooner remember I would rather. What? She what? Tan, tan, tan. Difficult,
I could
impossible.
sooner. Well, this is Alvaro's.
But yes, Alvaro.
Should I go sooner? Mm,
You could
she
say that
were
you would prefer.
going
She were going
with friends.
with friends or with her friends. So I would sooner she were going with friends, meaning I would rather or I would prefer she were going. So I'd sooner she were going with friends. The same thing when I left my parents' house, my mother said that I would sooner or I would rather you were going with someone, with a girlfriend or with your wife, but no, I wanted to leave alone. Okay, number three, Alex. Can you try number three?
Yeah. Your why don't you
The complete
well
sentence. Uh-huh.
well
But the sentence first, the one that is there. If
yeah,
you are
if you are unhappy with your new car, why don't you ask for your money back? Well, um if only it were as easy as that.
uh-huh. I would say the same. Yes, you are going to the shop and well to the car agency and just ask for your money. Not so easy. So, can you repeat it?
Uh, if if only it were as
Uh-huh.
easy as that.
As easy as that. But you know, it is not so easy.
Not at all.
Even if they say, or even when they say that they will give you your money back without not questions. No, not so easy. Okay,
Of course,
number
they
four.
won't give you
Yeah,
what you pay. They will give you less money.
less money. They will charge you for something. Well, number four, Alvaro, please.
I know you haven't got much time, but if I were you,
If I were you, mhm. If I were you,
I
I
I think it's
how
going to be breakfast, but I'm not sure.
uh-huh, uh-huh. If I were you, you are giving some advice.
Uh, I should,
I should or I would.
I would
Uh-huh. Should is also possible.
eat breakfast before we leave.
Mhm. I would eat or have, I would say have more common. I would have breakfast before what?
Before we leave.
Before because you are
Okay,
saying like were you? Before I leave.
okay.
So if I were you, I would have breakfast before I leave. Mhm. After before, we usually use a
Taken.
present form. What?
No, sorry. But I was
Take is
thinking that
uh,
it could be I would have taken breakfast just to
uh,
make it as a third conditional because the first part
it
is
could
talking
be
about the past.
it could be about the past. But I think this person is giving some advice to the other person at this moment, right now.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Maybe you see that this person is leaving, so you say, no, no, no. I know you haven't got much time, but if I were you, I would have breakfast before I leave.
Okay.
So you're giving this advice or this piece of advice now, so that this person doesn't leave without taking or having breakfast. Mhm.
Yes.
Well, number 5, Alex.
Forgetting forgetting to wear my shoes to school was embarrassing, and I would rather it were uh,
Yeah.
forgotten or easily forgotten by my classmates.
Aha. But no, sorry. I'd rather it were, um, you said,
Easily forgotten
okay.
by my
Uh-huh.
classmates.
By my classmates. Okay. I like it. Yeah, I remember once, I was telling you about the time when I studied at university. I used to play the trumpet in the school, and we used to have these rehearsals with the orchestra. And I always take off my shoes. I always took off my shoes. I used to do that. And once the teacher took my shoes and he threw them into a tree. And to recover my shoes, I had to climb the tree.
The three. But why did you used to take out your shoes?
Because it was very comfortable for me. I felt like very comfortable playing without shoes. But
Okay.
he was kind of a joker, a very nice person. Mhm. So we used to have this nice relationship, and he used to do these kind of things. And but when he got angry, he really got angry. His name was Ismael Campos, very famous in Europe. Not in Mexico, but in Europe he was. Okay. The next one, Alvaro, please. Number 6. Okay. I think Alvaro is not there. Well, he cannot answer. Can you read it, Alex?
Yes, I am very fond of Sebastian, but I wish he were
I wish he were.
not so critical with the employees. What is the meaning of fond?
That you really find like some kind of sympathy. I
Mm,
am very fond of Sebastian. Like we have some kind. Well, I feel some kind of sympathy for him. You like him, but sometimes, he's not the person you really like. So, but I wish he were not so critical of the preposition
employees?
employees. Mhm. When you're critical of somebody, it's like you criticize and criticize. So maybe it refers to that. In number 7, in this exercise, mhm, let's
Yes,
check it.
exactly.
When Mary saw that I was stuck, she laughed out loud. I know, but I of no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Even
because
if
I know the option you were thinking.
uh,
She laughed out loud. Uh,
as if
only if I thought you were thinking about only if she were not so critical.
I am thinking of this one. As if she were not so critical. Mm, I don't know. It still doesn't make sense for me. When Mary saw that I was stuck, she laughed out loud as she were not so critical. But the part that doesn't match is the last part, employees are joke. That part doesn't match. So let's go and discover the answers in the book. I have it open just for this kind of problems. Okay. So where is it? Where is it? No, not this one. Let me share the book. It is here, I think. No. I had it open. Let me find it. Give me a second. It happens in real classes. Let me find it. Okay. Just a second. No. Okay. Okay. Unit 58, 55, sorry. Let's check the answers that they suggest. Just let me open it. Okay. Here. 55. If you want me to share the book with you, just write a message and I will try to share it. Sometimes it is difficult because it is a little bit heavy. So I need to upload it
Yeah,
to
more than
the
300 pages.
But I think it is a good reference. I use it because it is for me it is a good reference.
Or
So
maybe you can share it in the group, but as a uh,
as a file?
as a zip file.
Okay, okay. I will try. So this is 58, chapter 58, no, 56,
58.5.
58, okay.
We are in the 85.4.
85. 85, yes.
The
Right.
number of exercise.
85.
85. We are going there. Here it is, 85. So they give you some possible answers. You have it here. Let me make it bigger so you can see it. For number one, I'm not happy about Katie going to Thailand alone. I'd sooner or I'd rather she were going with friends. This is the we had this like correct. Number two, if you were unhappy with your if you are unhappy with your new car, why don't you ask for your money back? Well, if only it were so as easy as that. Number four, I here. I know you haven't got much time, but if I were you, I would have breakfast
But
before you.
those
Uh-huh.
answers are from the latest exercise, and the answer we are looking for is from the previous exercise. I think it is
Mm,
85.3.
yes, yes. So it is from
Yeah,
number
and it was number 5, I think.
number five.
As if
Okay.
she were
As if she were
not so critical.
not so critical. But the part that maybe it is a mistake in the book because the last part doesn't fit at all. So this part fits perfectly, as if she were not so critical. But the
We,
last part of the sentence where it says employees joke
yeah, I think
doesn't.
before
Mhm.
employees jokes, it would be suitable to use with, as if she were not so critical with employees jokes.
Not so critical of or
Yeah,
about.
sorry, of
Okay. Yes,
employees jokes.
totally right. Well, so let's go back to the presentation. Let's see. Do we have more exercises on, or that's it? I think that's it. I don't know. Let me go there. Aha. Culture shock. We are going to talk about this nice topic. What is culture shock uh, in your opinion, from your knowledge?
Well, as far as my knowledge is concerned,
Uh-huh.
I
As far as you
understand
know,
that I understand that culture shock is the difference you get to know once you arrive from a for you arrive in a foreign country. The
uh-huh,
difference in traditions.
mhm. The cultural differences that you experience.
Yeah.
And what can be some of the problems that you experience when you go and live in another country or abroad, Alvaro? What could be these problems?
Um, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe the way we behave with other. Maybe in Mexico, it's common that when you see some person that you haven't seen before, you you hug, or how do you say abrazar? Huge?
You hug, you hug.
Hug, yes, you hug them. But in another countries, such as the United States or Canada, they are very cold, so they just give a handshake.
Or Japanese people, they don't even shake hands. It is like contact, physical contact is avoided in as much as.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay, well, let's some other problems before we go to the definition. What other problems could you experience, Alex?
What other what? Sorry,
Problems
problems.
could you experience when you go and live uh, abroad?
Maybe with the religion. Supposing I
Mhm.
am traveling to, I don't know, India,
Mhm.
religion could be a problem.
Yeah, because well, some years ago I was broken hearted. Yeah, I had just finished a very short relationship, but it was important for me,
Me neither.
and yeah, and I wanted to go away. So I started to look for a job in India, exactly. and they only had one condition, and the condition, apart from having the money to travel and everything, was that you didn't eat meat. You needed to be vegetarian if you wanted to travel there. And I said, "Oh, I could do it, but I don't want to." Uh-huh. So that could be another problem. Uh-huh. What other problems
Mm,
would you experience?
maybe with the law, there are certain
Law.
things that here in our country are we are allowed to do certain things that
Uh-huh.
in other country we may not allowed to do the same.
You are not allowed to do. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. For example, women in Middle East, in some countries, in some Islamic countries, they need to wear some. Well, they need to cover their faces. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So you mentioned religion, laws, or yeah, laws, rules, more problems. The food. I would miss taquitos. I would miss taquitos. Well, I don't eat taquitos very often, but if I want to do it, I do it. Uh-huh. What about the language?
yes, of course, the language could be another
That
problem.
could be another one. Well, I have some questions for you. Well, before we go to the questions, the definition. Can you read it, Alvaro? The definition of culture shock.
Yes. Feeling of uncertainty, confusion, or anxiety that people may experience when being in a new country or surrounding.
Yes, this kind of feeling that you don't you have this sensation of confusion, or you feel anxious because you don't know many of the things in this country. Uh-huh. So check the guy. He's like, oh, I don't know. Uh-huh. Well, some questions for you. The first question, guys: have you ever lived in a foreign country,
No, I
Alex?
haven't.
If you have the chance, which country would you like to live in?
Mm, maybe Australia. I have heard that it is such a nice place to live
Why?
because of the nature.
Okay. And the weather is not so cold, I think.
It is rather hot. It could be quite hot.
Uh-huh. But you know what? Australian people speak, well, I cannot
Yeah,
understand what they very fast. They speak very fast. Sorry.
it
Uh-huh.
could be challenging to communicate with them.
Mhm. Uh-huh. Australian English is quite complicated. And you, Alvaro, have you ever lived in a foreign country?
Yes, some years ago, I traveled to Canada and stayed there for 6 months.
Okay. And what were some cultural differences that you noticed?
Mm, mm, well, the first is, I'm not sure it's cultural, but the first is the
Mhm.
weather because it's very cold in that country.
Mhm.
And also the food because in the supermarket there are areas where the Chinese people can buy their own food and also the Indian people, but there aren't anything for Mexican. So
No? Mm,
No, at that moment I was in a small town.
mhm,
It was big. It was near to Toronto, but Toronto is
mm,
huge, and I had to travel from Toronto to Oshawa for
mhm.
2 hours, for about 2 hours in the bus,
Every
and
day?
it no, just because I stayed in a university and in a research stay,
Mhm,
so I lived there, and it was a small town, very small, like in the movies, in American movies.
mhm,
Um, but I think it was a good experience. Also, well, just the bad thing is the food because
mhm.
um, they don't have tortillas. What more? And
What
also
else?
chili.
Mm,
The
the food, yeah.
uh, yeah, the food, um, and also the weather because it was on winter, so it was very difficult. So I had to, yes, I had to buy
To
a
buy.
jacket. Yes, I had to buy jacket and boots for the snow.
Okay. And
But
uh
the
yes.
people is very polite. They always try to improve my English.
So,
They help
do you
me.
think people are nice in those places?
Yes, they are very nice, and they try to learn or try to say something in Spanish, just like hola or something like that. But yes, they are nice people, very polite.
People, and what kind of nationalities are like most common in these places? What nationality?
Well, I met people from Italia,
From
Italy,
Italy? Uh-huh.
from India, from Japan, from China. I think Chinese people are the most common in that country.
Yeah.
People
I have been
people from South America, also
South America.
South
Uh-huh.
America. But I think
And
the Chinese people are the most common. Yes.
okay. Did you feel did you sometimes feel isolated or not very, yeah, did you ever experience this sensation of being alone there?
It's like they said homesick.
Homesick.
Um, yes, a lot because nobody speaks Spanish. um,
And your English
uh,
was not so good in that time, I guess.
yeah, I was in the basic level, so to I needed to improve my English a lot because I needed to buy something to take the bus, to buy tickets, to take classes in the university. And it was very difficult. And I just talked with the people who lived with me. They were Chinese people.
Was
They
it
tried
difficult to communicate with them
just because they speak very good, but sometimes
very well?
we don't know how to how to say our ideas in English because they try to translate from Chinese and I try to translate from Spanish. But at the end, it was a good experience.
Okay, okay. Well, what about you, Alex? Uh, let's suppose. How do you think you would feel if you realized you were going through culture shock? Imagine you were through the same situation as Alvaro. How do you think you would feel?
Maybe sad, frustrated, but I could also be aware that the first thing that I must do in that case is not to panic, to keep calm, and just to be aware
And
that
enjoy.
things are going to get better.
Okay, okay. And what well, we have more questions here, and I think this is a good one. What strategies would you use to cope with culture shock? My mistake. Let me add the question mark here. Okay. Yes, what would you do in order not to feel homesick, in order not to feel isolated?
Uh, well, my first strategy would be get informed and read a lot about the country I am planning to visit before I travel to that place. Just
Mhm.
to get to know the main the main ideas they have, or the ideas that could be very different from mine's.
From your ideas,
Yeah, just in
okay.
order to be prepared.
And then that would be
Uh,
a good way to prepare. But once you are there, what would you do?
well, in that way, once I am in that new country, I would be able to to use the strategy that I have previously developed to cope with those new ideas.
Okay. Uh-huh. Well, I remember some years ago in 2015. I went to Chiapas. I know it is Mexico, but I mean I met some people from different countries, and the first person I met, the first foreign people, well, the first foreign person I met, was a guy from Italy. Uh-huh. I was asked by the tourist guide. I was asked to tell him something about the tour that we were taking, but to my surprise, he didn't speak any English. And my Italian is well, it doesn't exist. Let's say I just know a few words and just basic things. Uh-huh. So. The thing was that I was so much involved with or so much how do you say this? Yeah, I really wanted to communicate with him. Uh-huh. Because I saw he was very lonely. Uh-huh. He was just eating by his own and not speaking to anyone. Uh-huh. And I didn't know if he was enjoying the moment. So I decided to make a conversation no matter what. Uh-huh. So I started like a few words, and he said, well, he made some gestures saying that he didn't speak any English. So I tried some Spanish, and he could understand something, and then I tried some Italian. Well, my very few words in Italian, and it was a nice moment. I don't know how we cope to communicate, but it was just a very, how would you say this, uh strange moment, but very nice. And the very
Awkward
same,
moment.
awkward, and that day, when we arrived to these lakes in Montebello, Montebello, yeah, it is called Montebello. um he called me, he made a sign for me to go and sit down with him in a restaurant that we were visiting. And he paid for the dinner. He paid for the dinner that day. And I said, why are you inviting me to have dinner with you? and he was very happy, and he told me that he hadn't spoke to anyone in 4 days, and he was very grateful to me because I had taken the time to talk to him, and I was like, wow. I don't know how I would feel after 4 days of not speaking to anyone, because he said that most of the people saw him, and they saw that he couldn't speak Spanish, and they gave up. They say, okay, no English, no Spanish. Well, but I tried, I really tried. So he was really happy to finally have made a friend. And we spent like 2 days, like in the tour we were taking, we spent 2 days, and I think it is a good thing we tried. Uh-huh. So I think it is a good way to meet people in general. Uh-huh. So I want Alvaro to tell us more about the strategies that he used in Canada to communicate. What were your strategies, Alvaro?
I think that, well, we, in my case,
Mhm,
I haven't prepared enough to visit that country because I had so little time to prepare everything.
mhm,
But I think there is a condition there that um, get people, no, that people depressed got depressed
mhm.
in winter because it was the first time I saw the snowing.
There's
And
no.
just now, and at the beginning it was very, it, it was fabulous. It was amazing,
Mhm.
but there were some days when the sky is white because it's clouded.
It is
uh
cloudy.
yes, it is clouded. And in the ground also you have snow, so you have the color white in the sky and also in the ground. So
Mhm.
your body got depressed, so you just want to sleep, and you need the sun. Yes, the sun, because we need the D vitamin, because in Mexico
Uh-huh.
we have the sun every day, but in the north, maybe in Canada and London and that kind of countries, they don't see the sun some days. Maybe you need to wait for 4 days or 5 days in order to see the receive the sun. So it at the beginning it got depressed me, and also
You got depressed. Uh-huh.
yes, I got depressed, and also the night start very early in the afternoon. For example, in by the 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was night. It was dark. So the length of the day is very short, and you feel that you need to go to sleep, but it's afternoon. It's only 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and also
Uh-huh.
the the cold. It was very difficult for me. That's
Cold weather?
some yes. That's some situation that I didn't prepare in advance, but I couldn't know before, because we only know that in Canada it's just the snow and the cold. And but you need to be prepared for a shorter length of the day, and to be prepared for you can see the sun all the days.
And what did you do in order in order to counteract this depression?
I try to stay active. I try to stay the most of the time at the university with the professor, and try to speak with other people from other countries because they are in the same situation. They left their family in order to study in that country.
That would be
And
one. You try
and
to.
some
Uh-huh.
and also try to speak with my family by Zoom, but yes, by Zoom or Skype.
Skyping. Okay. I think it is a good way to cope with culture shock. And what else could you do, Alex? Imagine you were in that situation. What other things you think could help you to counteract this or to cope with culture shock and with the fact that you are not in your country? Hello, Alex. Hello. No, Alex? Okay. I think he left for a moment. Well, I don't know. As you said, Alvaro, I would try to stay active, and not only active, but how do you say this? Like interested in some. I would try to maintain some kind of focus on maybe as you may have done, like doing research or reading or doing exercise. That could help, but because I guess you cannot go out. Yeah.
That's right. It was very difficult for me because I I couldn't go out enough for the winter for the snow.
Mhm.
Um, and I tried to, and also Canada is expensive. And at that moment, I was
Uh,
an student. And I had uh, a little money.
so, did you receive some kind of a grant or scholarship?
Yeah, it was a scholarship, but it was only the necessary to live there.
Uh-huh. And
Uh, yes,
was it enough or not really?
it's just mm, just enough, but I had to manage my money because it's an expensive country, so you need to try to do good decisions in order to just to eat something or to visit some
And
place.
can you tell us of an experience that you lived there that helped you to cope with this kind of culture shock? Maybe some kind of friendship or something that you
Well,
remember that was good.
yeah, I remember the professor was very nice with me because even if they didn't know me before,
Mm.
they they got a place where I could live.
They
So
they
they
find some accommodation for you.
yes,
They,
and also we just talk no we just write some emails and we got an agreement to work together. But some other professors uh, try to identify if you can speak English, and if you can pass this test, you can continue with the process.
Mhm.
But with this teacher, with this professor, it was a nice person.
Okay. And where was he from? From Canada? Or?
No, he's from Argelia, I remember.
Mm, okay.
But
And how long?
at that moment, he was doing her PhD degree in that university.
Okay, okay. I think it was nice from you to find these
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, it
Did you
was
did you make friends? Did you make many friends?
just some of them, but one friend from China,
Uh-huh.
another from Ukraine, and I met people from Italy
Uh-huh.
and one more. The Japanese people I couldn't understand their English
The- uh-huh.
because they speak different, and also the people from India.
Okay, okay. If you want to get more exposure to different accents, I don't know if you remember that some classes ago I commented about a TV program from the 80s. It is called Mind Your Language. It is an English TV program. Uh, he well the main character is a teacher who teaches
Mhm.
this kind of multicultural class. It is an English class, but with people from France, from Spain, from India, from China, from Japan, from Pakistan, from Greece. So it is very funny for me. It is something I enjoyed a lot when I was studying English. It was difficult sometimes to understand, but if you watch it with subtitles at the beginning, because not because the level of English is really high, no, but the different accents make it quite challenging. But you will see all of these crash or clash. This clash between different cultures and accents and pronunciations and yeah, these jokes are great. So if you want to have more exposure, it is called Mind Your Language. Uh-huh. It is a very old TV program, but I think it will be enjoyable. It is on YouTube if you want to watch it. Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. I will try to watch this TV program
Uh,
because yes,
uh, if you watch the first chapter, you will be like, "Ah," and you will want to try more.
yeah, I will try to
Uh-huh.
watch because I need
Uh-huh.
more exposure myself to the different kind of pronunciations.
Uh-huh. Okay, Alex, are you there? Have you come back? I think Alex had a problem with his microphone or something. Well, more questions. Uh-huh. It says, imagine you were going abroad. What would you do in order not to feel isolated? Well, we were checking something. Huh? Like Alex said that he would try to research more. Uh-huh. Alvaro, in your case, now that you have the experience, what would you do differently this time?
Um, this time I don't know, I would prepare myself in the English language because I think this is a huge factor to communicate with other people. And other is that maybe I would stay in a center in the downtown, not far away from the downtown because sometimes okay the public transport is very accurate in the schedule.
In time.
So if
Uh-huh.
in time they said they will stay in this station at 8 o'clock and they stayed at 8 o'clock. Um, and also it's expensive, but they are reliable. And it's because if you are outdoor or you are, yes, in the snow outside
Mhm.
of your house, you you need that the boss stay at the the schedule, the complete the schedule they put.
So that you don't wait too much in the snow.
No, you try to arrive at the station at the same time that the bus arrive in order to just to take the bus to
And
stay
not to
in
get frozen.
yes, and also stay in a warm place because the bus has uh, heating.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Central heating. Uh-huh.
yes, and also if you want to go to the mall have heating, the stores has heating, the cafe. Um, I think uh, this is good because you don't expose your body to the cold
To cold weather.
uh,
Okay.
the cold
Mhm.
weather. But I would like to stay in, for example, in Toronto, in near to Toronto, because I would like to visit the train to travel by train in Toronto. And what more, I would like to visit the museum and all the activities that Toronto has. Uh,
Okay. Mhm.
the small town is just it's a little town, so you don't have uh, anything to do in the afternoon in every day.
There, I guess there isn't much to do. Like, are there any cinemas in that town?
No, because you need to travel to the next town, or so it's not very convenient because in order to enjoy this, okay, that kind of small town, you need to have a car, and
Okay.
you can visit mm, many places. But if you are working, no, if you are in the public transportation,
Uh-huh.
you are very limited.
Okay, okay, I get it. Well, what about Alex? Are you there, Alex? Maybe he's
Yes,
yes. Well, a question for you, Alex. If you
yes.
could create a culture shock survival kit, like put something in a bag and take it with you to this new country, what would be your top three essential items or strategy?
Well, to begin with, a mobile phone, just to look for any information I need on the internet.
A what? Sorry.
A mobile phone,
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Some technology. Uh-huh.
some technology. Uh, I don't know.
What else would you include? Some Mexican food. I take some Mexican food with me.
I don't think you are allowed to travel by plane
I know.
with Mexican food. Well, with any food. Yeah,
Some
because
things could be, but not many things.
at least tacos, I don't think so.
It might the plane, the smell would be quite peculiar.
Well, another item would be. mm, 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 I don't know.
What would it be? Um, I don't know either. I could include a book about it. Like the step by step or the ABC of culture shock survival, something like that. How to survive in a different country. Nowadays, with artificial intelligence, you could write it yourself, Alex, using artificial intelligence.
Or I'm thinking about a map, taking a map with me.
A
That
map of the city. Mhm.
a map of the city that also shows all the train stations and the subway and all the public transport available in the
Mhm.
place. Could be
Mhm.
useful.
Okay. What else?
Mm, maybe a dictionary, a
Uh-huh.
translator.
Nowadays there are many apps. I was watching YouTube the other day, and there is an advertisement. There was a video of a girl just talking to her phone, and her phone was translating what she was saying to some Japanese guys. And I think something like that could be useful if they don't speak English, for example. Mhm. So maybe
Okay.
something like that. What else? What would you include, Alvaro? What else could you include in these three top essential items?
Mm, let me think. Maybe no, I'm not sure.
Mhm. I would write a list of phrases that I could use to start conversations with people. Uh-huh. And not only in English, maybe choosing some other languages. Well, if I spoke other languages. Uh-huh. So I would include that, at least in English, like 20 phrases to make friends. Uh-huh. And topics to make friends, to start a conversation with friends. Okay. Alex, do you have any other idea?
Mm, not really, teacher.
Not really. Okay. Check the next question. If you were, or imagine you were to organize a cultural mixer event, where people from many countries could get together. What activities would you include? I would like to do this, to organize something like that.
I would
Uh-huh.
organize a visit to in downtown Mexico City, a visit to the Templo Mayor.
Okay, yeah. If you were the host, okay,
Yes.
yeah, a visit to these cultural sites or archaeological sites. Okay, that would be good. Another one, Alex.
Mm, but I could include activities related uh, to the country we are in. I mean,
Imagine we were
traditional
in
stuff.
Mexico. We were
Yeah.
in.
Well, if
Mhm.
we were to be here in Mexico, yeah, I would suggest to prepare Mexican food, of course, listening to
Right?
some
Uh-huh.
Mexican singers,
Some
and
karaoke, yes.
yeah, some karaoke and a piñata. Yeah, hitting a piñata.
Yeah, I would do it too. Maybe I could invite people to play these kind of children games, like games that children play in Mexico, no matter if they are adults. Like I don't know, like Matatena, or
Okay.
these kind of games that we played when we were children. That could be helpful. Uh-huh. and also an activity in which every participant talks about their countries, about their own countries. Like, I am from, I don't know, Thailand. And in Thailand, we have this and this and this. And maybe they could talk about the differences, the cultural differences between their countries and Mexico. Don't know. I am just suggesting. Uh-huh. Any other idea? Maybe we should include something like this, but I am going to invite people from other countries. I nowadays I have many friends from Argentina, from Chile, from Spain, and they speak English. So I will try to invite them so that we can organize something like this. I think it would be really, really interesting. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, that would be interesting. And another activity I would include is that I would encourage the attendants to bring something from their country,
Yeah,
something representativo. How would you say?
representative.
Representative from
This?
their
Uh-huh.
countries. Yeah, and
Okay.
to give to offer a little speech about it.
I would consider that. Okay, and you, Alvaro, if you were to organize this cultural mixer event, and you think of another activity?
Mm, yes, I try to organize different games to interact with the people. Um, I don't know, in a park or something, an outdoor activity like maybe play soccer together. Um, I don't know, try to organize a karaoke or or something in order to feel good.
Okay, but something that I consider really, really important, if it is, for example, if we organize it, I would just ask you for well, it would only be one condition, to open your cameras. Uh-huh. Because I think it would be more intimate and you could interact better if you open your cameras. So I will try to organize it maybe in some days. I will try to invite more people. From well teachers, because they are usually, well, the ones I know are teachers from Argentina, from Chile, from Spain. There is one living in the United States. She's from, I think she's from Puerto Rico, I think. And one from Brazil. So I think it would be nice, but I would only ask you to open your cameras that day. Mhm. So, well, next Friday, we are going to retake the topic because we are going to read about it. So we will need to retake the topic a little bit with the people in that session. But I think we are going to have great fun that day. Okay, guys?
Okay, teacher.
Well, so
Okay.
see you next Friday, Alvaro, Alex, and
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks, teacher.
Thank
Enjoy the
you.
rest of the day. Take a little nap.
Yeah, I haven't slept anything, so yeah, maybe 2 or 3 hours would be nice. So
See you,
see
Okay.
you
teacher.
on
Thank you. See you, Alvaro.
See you.
Bye. See you
Bye.
guys. Bye.